Welcome everybody to another live cast of The Bunch of Goofs. Appreciate you being here. It's me and Oda at the moment. Chef will be joining us in a bit, I guess, whenever the hell he shows up. But today's subject is today's subject is video game vehicles, the good, the bad, and the dumb. And we're not including there is Chef, fucking hell.
It wouldn't let me back in.
Anyways, we're not going to include mechs in this one because that's going to be a separate episode. But for this episode, we're talking specifically vehicles. Vehicles like ships and cars and the like, but not mechs.
I'll ship you a car.
I'll ship you a face. And I think,
Ooh.
hey, what's up, Scotty? Welcome to today's Bunch of Goofs here on Twitch. Now, I think a good game to start this off with is one of my favorite this was the Demolition Derby game. Twisted Metal.
I think I know which one you... Yeah, I was going to say, I had a feeling I knew which one you were going with because it's the one I was going to go with.
Now, what was your favorite vehicle in Twisted Metal, for those of you that have played?
Which Twisted Metal?
Let's go with 3, because I think that was the most iconic.
Oh, the best one.
I think I only played 1 or 2 personally.
I mean, so truthfully, 3 wasn't really anything special in the way of vehicles. They didn't really add anybody. They just unlocked characters that you weren't able to play as beforehand. Such as my favorite for 3, which was Minion.
Ooh, okay.
I mean, my favorite overall for the entire series is fucking Sweet Tooth.
Oh yeah, of course. Sweet Tooth is one of the few clowns that I am okay with. I still scares the shit out of me, but I'm okay with him. And what's up, Letty Yeti?
Wait a minute, the most psychotic?
Says a lot about me, doesn't it?
Well, the most psychotic is a bit... it's debatable, because...
Okay, violently psychotic. Like, even the Joker isn't as much of a murder hobo as Sweet Tooth. Joker does it for his own deranged enjoyment and for the fun of the game. Sweet Tooth is not that deep. Sweet Tooth just wants to murder you to murder you.
But he also wants to keep his best friend safe.
Oh, God.
What? That bag got him through the toughest times of his life.
Are we... If we're just talking about psychotic clowns, though, there's so many more.
Yeah.
You know, you have It. You have... Or Pennywise. You have,
Pennywise
fucking...
was psychotic.
I'm sorry.
He was a deranged monster, but he wasn't crazy. He was a predator.
I guess if we look at it,
I'm not gonna make that joke.
That's yeah, no. We're not going Subway here, okay?
He was doing it for food.
God, it's going more Subway than I thought it was gonna go.
I mean, Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Yeah, there's that.
I think I think Sweet Tooth would enjoy killing them.
Well, then there's oh shit, the Terrifier, Art the Clown, the one that's all white and black.
Are you talking about the mime clown from that one movie?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
he has no voice.
Yeah, I don't see. That's the kind of creepy I don't play with. See, gratuitous violence and anger, that's relatable.
That's relatable.
I'm going to segue into a clown that's also from one of the vehicles I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
Kefka.
Kefka.
For Final Fantasy VI.
You wouldn't know this one, Chef.
The evil clown who literally destroyed the world because he thought it'd be fun.
And he wanted people to see a spectacle.
He's a test tube baby.
He is. He is definitely... He's got problems. Kefka's got problems.
Well, when you're raised in a lab as a guinea pig, and they make you a general.
Keep in
Like,
mind,
he
they
wiped
were
out the
trying to fix the magic problem. Does that make it any better? No, that doesn't. That makes it so much worse.
Yeah. But
Well,
the reason why it brought me up is specifically between 1 and 6 had some of the best airship designs because they were still wooden boats with propellers.
Oh yes, the
I
steampunk
do love that
airpunk
concept in a
element
video
that they
game.
brought into that with Sid being the name and title that is the airship captain that is generational essentially. It's part of every single Final Fantasy.
For most of them, yeah. Once they started doing it, they kept doing it.
Yeah, well, sorry. It's part of every Final Fantasy after 3.
Yeah, and like some of them are like a little weird, like, but a lot of they still always had that one airship that was just a literally a wooden boat with propellers, and I love that aesthetic.
And instead of
I
a
don't have a
airship, it was a blimp, right? Sorry, instead of uh masts, they had blimp.
no. The propellers provided lift and thrust, so they were just a sailboat without any sails. There weren't even really masts.
Oh, right. Sorry.
It was just more whirly giggies on top of the mast.
You're a whirly giggy.
Whirly giggies.
I'll show you.
Giggity.
I mean,
I'll show you my whirly giggy if you show me yours.
I told you I lost my microscope.
I don't think Hubble can find that.
Oh, fuck you.
But the while I like the one in 7, after that I think that like 7 and 8 had good ones. 9 was kind of a throwback to the original ones, and then after 10 and on they lost the plot.
Well, because 10 and on, they went all technological. They went futuristic with Final Fantasy.
They did that with 8, but it was a dragon, so it was okay.
Yeah, but 8, they went more steam. They kind of leaned into the steampunk, wasteland punk kind of thing more.
Yeah, but no, I'm talking about the Ragnarok. It
Yeah,
was a
I know.
literal
Yeah.
mechanical dragon. And I love that. It's like, you know what? This is way too mechanical, but it's also a fracky red dragon. So, yes.
I mean,
But
giant
after,
robo
like,
dragon for the win.
yeah, and then, like, 10, and then, oh my god, the air, whatever the heck's in 12 and 13.
No.
Oh my god, they were overcomplicated to be overcomplicated.
They were essentially the Voyager, but planetary.
Okay. In 12, the Bahamut, I think is the name of the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, it looked like a giant flying dildo with spinny parts. It was literally 5 times taller than it was wide, and it just kind of floated menacingly. It's like at full speed, I can outrun this thing without a chocobo. What the hell is the point of it?
It's
on the bottom.
just like everything that is large, long, and big. It's a statement.
Yeah, it was a statement, but it was just one of those things where you're looking at it going, okay, I think we've lost the plot. The whole point of the airship was to get around quickly, not whatever the flip this thing's doing.
Vibrating the air?
I mean, like, the Strahl was a great ship. The little personal ship that the space pirates ship.
I'm trying to remember the way that it looked. Though it's been a while.
It looked like a beetle, and then the wings outstretched out, and then it flew. But when it was closed up, it actually looked like a Japanese beetle.
Ah. Robo Dragon always wins. Yes, I agree with your wife, Oda.
Yep. Even Kaiba's Robo Dragon looks cool.
Okay, but Kaiba's just a Nepo baby.
It's still a flying dragon jet. It's still cool. But no, yeah, I just wanted to bring up how Final Fantasy went from awesome, love the aesthetic, to why the frack are they aircraft carriers in the sky now that are about as aerodynamic as a brick who somehow actually figured out how to make a brick less aerodynamic?
Oh, right. Bricks are pretty aerodynamic. I mean, you throw them at somebody and they go flying, right?
Yeah, but it's like instead of throwing a brick, they tried to throw the entire wall flat forward.
I'm a wall. You're
They
supposed to
threw
be
it.
a ship.
They threw a Pink Floyd album at him.
I think the Pink Floyd album would have looked cooler. This would have been a flying saucer.
I mean, they were going to try to take a journey.
It's okay. The only thing I really remember about Pink Floyd songs is you can't have your pudding if you don't eat your meat.
Well, how can you have your pudding if you don't eat your meat?
So, can we go back to Twisted Metal? Because I have a fucking
All right.
one of the vehicles there that is the worst design for a vehicle in a death fucking destruction derby.
I think I know
tournament
which
ever.
one you're going to be talking about.
Which one?
Does it involve a person and two large wheels?
Axel, yes. That is the worst fucking design. I'm going into a death tournament. Make me the target.
I'm going to just put my hands in the wheel spokes and be the wheel spokes.
Well, no, he's locked in there. Those things are locked onto his fucking forearms and shit.
I know,
So he
right?
can't even get out. And in Twisted Metal 3, when you get enough damage, he actually, one of his arms becomes detached. He loses his arm at the fucking elbow.
It's a bad design. It's just a bad design.
It's like, you have fucking tanks that shoot missiles. You have a fucking ice cream truck that shoots a bomb out of the fucking clown on top. You have a fucking Humvee that shoots 3 missiles at a time and screams patriotic music. You have a cop car with guns mounted on it. And then you have some jackass standing between 2 fucking wheels on a platform going, I'm okay, guys.
I'm an exposed nerve.
basically-
Shoot me.
He's literally going, I like Star Wars. I'm a TIE fighter on the ground.
Pretty much.
Basically,
That's
I
what
mean-
he looked like.
Which means, he had no vision to his left or to his right, right?
No, of course
No.
not.
He had to literally turn the entire vehicle to see left to right.
And that's what it did too. It spun on an axis.
It was
It was the stupidest design out of any video game vehicle I think I've ever seen.
I mean, he wanted to feel the road. I
I wanted
guess.
to feel something.
The only thing dumber is when you have like the space combat on flying space surfboards.
You mean Silver Surfer?
I was gonna say,
Silver Surfer, Power Rangers, take your pick.
Wait, I'm trying to remember
Lost
when
in
Power
Space.
Rangers did fucking
It was,
Space Force. Was that the Space Squad Power Rangers?
Lost, yeah.
The ones where they had like triangles and shit as their symbols?
yes.
The Geometry Squad, essentially?
They had that so many times that doesn't narrow it down.
I guess that's
No,
true.
they've only done like two.
It's Power
two-
Rangers in space where they had the big blue
Yeah.
ship and the space shuttle.
It was the
linked
first.
up.
It was the first one that they did in space.
Is it the one with the man dog?
No,
No,
that was
okay.
Delta.
That was Delta? Okay.
Yeah, no, but in order to be, and then they had the Ninja Turtles riding on this boards because Obama also had a Ninja Turtle live action show at the same time. So
Yeah,
they did a crossover.
yeah. It was.
Terrible?
We'll just say it was interesting.
I mean,
We'll
And they
just-
actually went into combat on these boards. I know, and they did make a video game out of it, but it's like, yeah.
They did,
that
but it
I
didn't
actually
do
think-
fucking good.
wait a minute. They made a video game off of this?
It was like it was only in circulation for like 1 year, and then I never saw it again.
Okay.
It was bad.
It was that bad.
It was pretty damn close to the ET game level bad.
Okay. Now, when it comes to like, just thinking about skateboards, because we're going to boards,
Mhm.
right? As a vehicle, you know who had the best skateboard?
Tony
Well,
Hawk.
there's Skate, there's Tony Hawk, there's
I meant in combat, Bart Simpson.
I fucking I remember that shit.
I ruled
God.
with the Simpsons in the Simpsons arcade with Bart Simpson.
Dude, the Simpsons games have always been fucking amazing. I don't give a shit what anybody says. I love them.
I love the one where it was like, I can't remember if it was Dreams or the TV. I think it was the TV one where you were like stuck in the TV. And there was one where you were itchy and scratchy. There was like
Oh yeah,
all
yeah,
kinds of
Oh.
yeah.
randomness.
I think I know what you're talking
It
about.
was
Yeah, that was
one
for
of those
that
ones
was like Super
where
Nintendo era, wasn't it?
Yeah.
uh, yeah, it was for I had it on the Sega Genesis.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Super Nintendo era.
So I was
Dude.
agreeing with you.
Oh, I know. I'm confirming. Genesis and the Super Nintendo were roughly out for the same time
They
for
were
a little bit.
rivals.
Yeah.
No, they were direct rivals.
I thought
They
Nintendo
both got phased out at the same time because that's when they switched over to the next gen.
Mm-hmm.
I
They
thought
were the
Super
same gen as each other.
Yeah, I thought Super Nintendo came out before the Genesis. Like just a little bit.
It might have, but they ended around the same time.
Yeah.
Which I don't give a shit what anybody says. Fucking Genesis is still my favorite game console of all time.
Now Sega
They're
did
my favorite controllers.
Oh yeah.
as a game company, Sega was definitely on top in a lot of ways. It's just sad because they made a lot of bad business decisions with the Dreamcast.
Yeah,
They
Sega.
didn't make bad business decisions with the Dreamcast. They made bad advertising
Well,
shit with
it wasn't
Well,
just
they
that.
also
Yeah.
Oh, Alan's lagging. Talked over Oda again.
Hello, 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 hello. Can you see me?
Hold
Can you
on.
hear me?
You're kind of coming back.
we're waiting for you to stop looking like a Godzilla movie. You were literally talking, and then your mouth moved afterwards.
Yeah, Discord is not
You
my.
keep coming in for half a second, and then going away, and then coming in, and then going away.
Discord is definitely not my friend today.
Discord's a jerk.
It really is.
Yeah, now you're kung fu moving it.
Okay, let's see. Here, I'll do some kung fu for you. I will throw you away like the trash that you are, like everybody in your life does, because you should be used to that being, trailer trash. Anyways, I think we're
As
back.
somebody who used to live in a trailer park, that's an insult. Don't lock me in with those trolls.
I'm sorry. All right, are we back?
I've met a lot of good people in a trailer park.
Yeah, it looks like you're back.
All right.
Yep.
Cool. What the fuck were we talking about?
Where the fuck were we?
I mean, originally we were talking about the Simpsons games.
Oh.
I mean, if we're going with Simpsons vehicles,
We're talking about Sega.
Oh well, yeah. I figured we would just go
And
back
I was
to
just
vehicles,
gonna say,
yeah.
Sega's only problem was they were too ambitious for their own good.
Yeah,
and
the
they
Dreamcast
spent too much money in R&D and made a product that literally they just couldn't sell for the money they had. And you could tell they spent so much money on the graphics and thought that would be a good enough selling point that it hurt other areas, and that's why they had trouble.
Well,
yeah,
there
I mean,
was.
the Dreamcast really should have come out roughly around the time the PlayStation did.
Yeah, that's the thing, because
That was the Sega Saturn, not the Dreamcast.
the networking capabilities.
Right, I'm saying they should have pushed the Dreamcast back.
It's because the networking capabilities that we had at the time for the internet were just not up to snuff to what Dreamcast wanted. Because the Dreamcast was supposed to be built to be one of the first online systems.
Yeah, but that's kind of hard to do with dial-up.
Yes.
They were about 5-10 years early.
They were,
really
but
were.
they were.
That's why I said the Dreamcast really should have been pushed back and been a competitor to the PlayStation.
It really should have been.
Yeah, the Dreamcast was a competitor for, wasn't that PlayStation 2?
No, it was PlayStation
Because
1.
the Saturn was the competitor for the PlayStation.
See, my cousin had a Dreamcast when the PlayStation 1 came out.
Okay, I might have these backwards then.
It might have been that the
I
Saturn.
remember owning a Sega.
The Saturn and the Dreamcast came out roughly about the same time. They were 2 different price points.
Yeah, but didn't this?
Why would you do that?
That was one of the things that they did to shoot themselves in the foot. They literally released the Saturn, and then I think 6 months later, or 6 months to a year later, it was the Dreamcast,
Mhm.
and they just dropped it like that. And the drop didn't come with any announcement.
That's why Saturns are so rare.
Also, I played the Sega Saturn because I loved Sega from the
Oh, same.
Genesis, so I bought a Sega Saturn, and they literally leaned too heavily. They spent so much money on the advanced graphics that the story, I don't remember there being one.
Yeah, they kind of didn't.
I think they.
It depended upon the game, truthfully. But
Yes, it was just a bad era for Sega. They tried too hard.
well, I mean, it's ultimately what ended Sega as a video game console company, and then Nintendo bought them.
Yep.
If I remember right.
There's some irony.
Nintendo
But
did buy them.
well, yeah, but I mean, if we go back to like the Simpsons games though,
Mhm.
there's one Simpsons game that is iconic when it comes to vehicles, and it's my favorite Simpsons game,
Simpsons,
which is just a reskin of Crazy Taxi.
which is a fucking amazing
No,
game.
never played it.
Crazy Taxi is an amazing game, but the Simpsons one is Road Rage.
Yes,
I
Simpsons
still
Road Rage.
have the original Xbox. I still have the original disc somewhere. I fucking love that game. It's literally just Simpsons Crazy Taxi, and every single Simpsons character has their own specific vehicle. Like Bart's is a fucking soapbox rocket ship. Homer's is the family car, but you can get upgraded versions of it. Marge's is a station wagon. Lisa's is an electronic bug convertible, basically. Um, fucking Barney's is his dump truck. You can unlock Otto, and he has the school bus.
Can you also get the comic book guy
fucking
in that one?
No, you could pick him up,
You can pick him up. That's what it was. Okay.
but yeah. And the bad guys of the fucking thing was the whole premise of it was Mr. Burns came out with atomic powered buses that was making everybody irradiatedly sick for public transportation. So Homer didn't want to take it anymore and started his own taxi company. So while you're running around taking these people from point A to point B, fucking these giant irradiated city buses are trying to ram you and stop you from getting to your spot. I fucking love that game. I sunk so many hours into that shit.
It was ridiculous chaos.
I only played it for a couple of hours because I rented it.
Yeah. It was my first Xbox game, actually.
Nice.
Like, when we bought the Xbox, it came with Road Rage. I don't have the Xbox anymore, but I have the fucking game. I wish it was backwards compatible because I'd be playing the shit out of it.
It's not on Game Pass?
No. It's an original Xbox game.
I don't know. Sometimes they remaster them. Every
OG.
It was also on PlayStation 2.
Yeah. It was PlayStation 2 and OG Xbox.
I see.
Like,
it was back when video games came out on everything.
Yeah. Aside from a few exclusivities like Halo and stuff like that.
Right.
Which, Halo vehicles. All
right. Let's talk about Halo vehicles. Let's go into one of the most iconic and best originals, the Warthog.
What is your which one?
I mean, the OG Warthog's the best in my opinion, but the Goss Warthog was fucking hilarious.
Because you could go flying with it. I loved flying with the Goss Warthog.
The best part about the Goss Warthog is when you had two of them side by side and you both shot each other and oh, fuck.
Bye.
That was 3 that the Goss Warthog was released.
Yes,
I remember right.
I believe so. It was.
It wasn't 2. That was also when they realized that they should make the vehicles destructible.
Yes.
Because of people like Oda in a fucking tank.
that was destructible. They just never got a clean line of sight.
Fucking
But the tank is actually not my favorite vehicle.
really. I mean, the
No,
Scorpion's
it's
awesome.
the Ghost.
The
The little
Ghost.
go-kart with the blaster.
Yeah.
I killed so many people with the tank because everyone forgot you could strafe with that thing.
Mm.
And if you let go and press, and if you like went back and forth and kept like stopping and starting, nobody could hit you because they always expect you to travel at the same speed. So if you kept changing it up, I killed so many tanks with those things. It's not even funny.
Let's see, back when Halo was my game and people were using the Ghost online, they hated me because I didn't aim for the Ghost. I aimed for the ground underneath them to flip them.
You son of a bitch.
Oh, I learned really quick.
Oh, what's funny is I always pressed the wrong button when I was using the Ghost. I never took anybody out with the gun. I hit the
Splattered.
afterburner.
Splatter.
Smash.
Yeah,
Vehicular
that's a much
ransom.
more effective way of killing people is when you're right in front of them and then you just yeet forward and oh look, they're dead.
You
Well,
just
yeah, 'cause
watch
when
their
you're
body
when you're
fly.
when you're using the boost, it didn't take much movement speed to fucking kill them.
Nope. No, it did not. It was fucking great.
I love that thing. I took out so much stuff. Like you get me on one of those. I'm the reason all vehicles were turned off because they kept trying to go. No, this vehicle. Okay, I'll go pick up this vehicle. No, this vehicle. Okay, I'll go pick up the. No vehicles.
I have aside from using the tank, I have two accolades to my Halo career.
Oh,
I have gone on a 10 kill killing spree using only splatters with a Wraith.
nice.
I have gotten a 25 kill streak using splatters with a Banshee.
Nice. That's fucking
Notice,
awesome.
like my friends, so everybody hated me because I excelled at everything everything Covenant. Aside from like the Magnum and the shotgun and the rocket launcher, everything I used was Covenant.
Mm,
You give me a fucking carbine and I'm shredding you.
nice.
So like, give me the Covenant vehicles and the same thing fucking happens until they changed them. Like once 343 took over, which
Yeah. I will say though, I've never been in Halo at the very least. I've never been the best when it comes to the vehicles. For me, when it came down to it, I was always a lover of the explosives. Rocket launchers, grenades, grenade launchers, anything that would cause big booms. Because if I wasn't going to kill you, I was going to go down with you.
am I the only one that wanted to get the fucking the hunter cannon?
Oh,
And
God.
they never made it a fucking usable gun.
No, because
Would you like to know
anytime
what
you
I
killed the
always
hunter, you
wanted?
got the plasma fucking pistol.
Yeah, I wanted to drive the Scarab.
Oh,
Ooh.
that would have been a fun fucking mission.
Like literally, like driving a Scarab on one of the capital ships
That
would
would
have
have
been
been.
entertaining.
I would have. That would
I
have
wish they
probably
would
been
have
one of
let
my
us fly
favorite
the
favorite levels.
missions.
Yeah, missions.
I wish they would have let us have a in space like dogfight using flying the pelicans.
Oh man,
Or the fighters.
True.
that would have been
I
fun.
just hated like the oh, you want to fly, you know, human or UNSC fucking stuff in your games? Here's the Hornet
You get a helicopter.
that has the fucking movement speed of a fucking snail.
And the handling of somebody who doesn't know how to play basketball.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It was such a bad vehicle. Like
Oh,
they were fun to fuck around in. Don't get me wrong. But in actual application, like when Blood Gulch got upgraded to Valhalla in Reach,
Mm-hmm.
I think it was.
Was it
And they
Reach?
added I think so. And they added the Hornets to the back of the bases um instead of the Banshees. Like, dude, we didn't give a shit. We just let it rock and we're driving around with Mongoose and Spartan lasers and shit.
Not giving a shit.
What was the goddamn really big wheels that you kind of just got drugged behind?
Oh
The
god,
brute
the brute
vehicle?
vehicles.
The chopper.
I don't know. All it knows was like
It's
two brute guns on either side of this big
yeah.
wheel, and you were basically like, "Here's a screwed up pop." Oh, I got one. But here's
Yeah,
when we're
it's
done.
called the brute chopper. Just so you know,
Okay,
like that's my game. So
did either of you ever play Star Wars Pod Racer?
Yes.
yes,
Of
I love that
course.
game. They need to
Oh my
remaster that fucking thing.
god! All like, even the bad vehicles were cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like
Fucking
what's his name? That weird
I
triangle shaped alien dude. Looked like a squat ass gnome.
I don't know. The only ones I really remember the name of are Anakin and Sebulba.
Of course, the most
They're the
iconic
only two that
names.
mattered. They're the only
Yeah.
two that mattered.
I don't know whose ship it was, but there was the one with the biggest fracking engines. They were like,
The
oh my
green
god,
one
looks
that
like
were
these.
basically X's.
I forget. All I remember is it was huge,
Mm-hmm.
but for some reason it was just had the right maneuverability for how I drove, and I kept kicking my brother's ass with it, and he was in like Anakin's, and he was mad because
Oh
I kept kicking his ass. He's like, "Why do you keep beating me?" I'm like, "Because you keep passing right next to me." Bonk.
yeah, that one was notorious for having the most health and being the heaviest. So it wasn't the fastest, but it would fucking knock you into next week.
Fuck your shit up as you're going that fast. Imagine getting hit by that going as fast as those pod racers are going.
I really want to change my ringtone now.
You want
I
to do
want I
pod
want
racer
the
theme?
I want I want the Sebulba deceleration. It's the most iconic sound from that fucking entire movie. The fucking pod racers.
The fact that that was only in that movie kind of made me sad.
I know.
God, it just
They
made me
need so
sad.
they need
The-
to
I-
remaster that game with all the like upgraded graphics and everything that we have, and like all the fucking racing game mechanics that we have in all these racing games. Imagine a Forza style fucking pod racer.
I would play the shit out of that.
or Rogue One.
So Rogue One would be a fun game for like one or two playthroughs, but the problem is like when it's like Rogue One, which is kind of one of the reasons I like the movie, but I don't like the movie. You know what's gonna happen at the end.
Mm.
So
Oh
it's
no, I
like
was talking about the video game, not the movie.
I know, but I'm saying the storyline for the video game would just
Oh,
be the
I
same
wasn't
thing.
talking storyline. I was talking about making it an 8v8 online game.
Okay, so basically a Battlefront,
Yeah.
Yeah,
which they need to make a new Battlefront that's not the shitty one that they fucking made
You mean the Battlefront that
last
was
time,
literally just a reskin of Call of Duty?
and microtransactions out the ass.
Mm-hmm.
It's what
yeah.
killed
I just
Battlefront.
want one that's just fighters, though. I get really sick and tired. Like, there's 3 different
Well,
Star Wars games I know where the fighters, which is the best part for me, is a small part of the game.
have you played Star Wars Squadrons?
There's, yeah, that one still has it on. On
Is
I
that
don't
on
want to
Game
be on
Pass?
the ground.
It was on Game Pass. I don't know if it's still on Game Pass, but I know
don't remember.
a big chunk of that is like the whole point of Squadrons is to
Ship to
fly,
yeah,
the fighters and
it's
shit.
Yeah, but
dogfights.
they keep making me walk on the ground too. I don't want to. Just give me flying. That's all I want.
So basically what you're saying is you want an Ace Combat but Star Wars edition.
You
Basically,
know
yes.
what he wants is a game that I actually did want to bring up too when we talking about vehicles. He wants Star Fox. He wants Star Fox with today's graphics. You know what? I want Star Fox with today's graphics.
Oh my
I
god!
would've-
That as long as they freaking improve the AI of that freaking Fox, help!
No. Remake Star Fox 64 the exact same way it is, just with upgraded fucking graphics.
You got to remaster the sound though, so that the sound actually sounds proper. Otherwise, it's just gonna sound really bad.
No, because if you leave it that bad, it sounds like it's actually coming through a radio.
Okay.
Oh no! What I was actually talking about is just sometimes because
Oh, I
of
know.
its era, it
Slippy was annoying
overplayed
as
it.
shit.
I mean, you know what?
Fox,
If you want to
help!
keep that, I'm literally gonna turn your ringtone into "Hey, listen."
Hey, listen.
Not just your
I actually
ringtone,
had.
every tone. Every time you turn on your
I,
computer, the startup thing, hey, listen. Every time you press you
I
turn your car on, hey, listen.
I used
Every
to have
time you
I
look
used to
at
have that
something
as a text
new,
tone.
Hey,
"Hey,
listen.
listen."
I used to have that as a text tone, and oh my god, did I go insane within the first fucking day?
Oh, that'd be terrible. And what's up, Hoodlum? Welcome to the Twitch stream for our Bunch of Goofs livecast podcast. Appreciate y'all being here. I really do. Today's subject is, of course, video game vehicles, the good, the bad, and the dumb, even though we continue to get off topic, like we do.
I mean, not really. We're
Yep.
still on topic. We're
That's
talking
true.
about Star Fox.
Either of
Star.
you play Mass Effect?
Yes.
I have not.
I love the variable geometry way the Normandy reconfigures its engines depending on how it's moving.
Okay.
So many have tried and failed to do that, but for some reason with the Normandy, it actually feels organic, like it's actually serving a purpose and it's not just doing it to do it.
Giggity?
And also, the Mako was awesome.
That's the thing that I was trying to remember. It's the smaller ship.
Yeah, and then the replacement for it they had in 2 sucked balls.
Did
I
it?
just never really got into the Mass Effect storyline. Like
Why?
I was a Halo guy. I was a Halo guy.
Ah, okay. I get it. I get it.
That and like the clips that I've seen of Mass Effect, it's like, okay, so these are elite soldiers with a lot of teen angst. A lot of teen angst.
Oh no. Okay, I can definitely see where you're coming from with that one.
It's a
Like,
BioWare game. Who do you want to sleep with?
yeah, basically.
I will say though, it is cool. Speaking of the Normandy, that they actually did a crossover with No Man's Sky, where you actually,
Another game I'm not a big fan of.
yeah. I mean, I know why. No Man's Sky is definitely not your kind of game.
No, it's not that it's not my type of game. I like survival games like Ark and shit like that. And like No Man's Sky, you can build basically whatever the fuck you want.
But there's no
My problem with
direction in
No
No
Man's
Man's Sky.
True, but I mean at that point that's when I just treat it like fucking Ark.
I guess that's true.
It's like, okay, I'm just gonna build my shit here. No, my problem with No Man's Sky was all the glitches on it. You know, a year and a half later, there's still so many fucking bugs in that goddamn game.
Yeah, no, I cannot remember. I will say one of the things that I do hate is the fact that there are sometimes it still happens regularly. I will go to a planet, and the planet, its textures and colors won't load properly, so it looked like I'm on a fucking acid trip.
Oh yeah, like the last time I played, I landed on a planet, stepped out of the ship, and you know what an underwater vent looks like?
Mm-hmm.
Those are everywhere on the surface, and all that's pouring out of them is pixelated black shit, blocking my entire vision. I couldn't see the fucking planet.
Yeah, I fucking hate when that shit
And
happens.
this was right after I was just told by my friends, "Oh, they changed it. It's a fucking great game. They updated. There's no more issues." And that's the first planet I landed on. I'm like, "Nope," and I turned it off and went to a different fucking game.
I would never tell you. I'd be very wary to say any game has no issues.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, the only game I think of that has no issues is like the arcade games from the 80s. Because the code was so simplistic.
The NES didn't have a lot of issues.
Because the code was so simplistic.
Exactly.
Comparatively. It's a lot easier to troubleshoot 1,000 lines versus 1,000,000 lines.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hold it against developers now if their games have issues. I hold it against developers if they don't fix the fucking issue.
Or if they get salty when someone brings the issue up to them, which is like, I'm sorry, if you didn't want people to complain about it, don't release it to the fucking public then.
There's one company that I will say did not deserve all of the hate that they got from that, and that's CD Projekt Red. They got death threats for fucking delaying it. They got death threats for releasing it. They got death threats for it being broken, and they were forced to push it out a fucking year ahead of what they were trying to get it done.
Yeah, no.
No shit, it's broken. I still need to go back and I need to replay fucking Cyberpunk because I got stuck in a glitch in the like second mission and said, "All right, I'm putting this away for a bit," and I just never went back to it.
And you're not wrong, because honestly, the whole debacle with CD Red Project was a black mark on how gamers are. That's just fucking sad that that is the route that people took. You want the game? Fine. If you're going to be a giant bitch bag about it and send death threats because you didn't get what you wanted, fuck you. All you're doing is being a spoiled little bitch. If you want it, go make it.
Now I will say the cars and other vehicles in that game are so much fun to drive.
I haven't tried it.
You look like you're thinking, Oda.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, I went on 3. I only did 3 at once, but the one I wanted to bring up is, but you guys played Final Fantasy VII?
Yes, I have.
Sir, if there's
Do you
Final
remember
Fantasy
the
in the name,
three-wheeled truck everybody but Cloud drove in when they were leaving the Shinra building?
Yes.
When you remember the mini game when you had the motorcycle and you were protecting him on the 3-wheeled truck?
Yes.
And I'm still on the fence on whether it's cool or terrible.
I mean, I worked in the power sport industry. I know how bad 3 wheels can be.
I'm honestly leaning more towards it's horrible, but that might be because when I first played that segment, I had such a bad experience with that segment. Because I was trying to play it on keyboard and mouse.
Oh fuck.
Okay. My thought was, and this is because I played it when it first came out on PlayStation, and that was probably that was the first kick-ass cinematic I ever saw.
That is true. Final Fantasy
The
VII
cinematic
did
of them leaving.
amazing.
And that was just such an awesome cinematic of them busting out, and then Cloud's riding behind, dragging the Buster Sword. That cinematic was beautiful.
Especially for back then. I mean, for back in the MS-DOS era of graphics. Yes, I'm showing my age. Fuck you.
You mean the stuff that the program that fucking George R.R. Martin still uses to write on?
Hey, just because he still has a computer that is beige white and the screen is about that small doesn't mean he doesn't.
Oh, it's not beige white anymore. It's not beige white anymore. That shit is so yellowed and old that shit is like fucking looking like your grandma's teeth after smoking for 30 years.
Oh God. Gross.
Tell me that white plastic didn't do that though.
No, it did. It did. There was no way, like, no matter how clean you were, no matter how clean you kept your house, that thing yellowed like it was being stained by coffee every fucking day. And I don't know why.
Let's be honest. Back then, when that shit came out, let's be honest. Back when that shit came out, people were smoking in the house. So
That
Like
is
3
true.
people, each a pack a day. There were there was actually always an ashtray next to the computer.
yeah.
I mean, to be fair, they grew up
And
in the age that smoking was considered healthy.
To be fair, there was an ashtray on every single table in that house, along with every nightstand and dresser, and in the bathrooms on the fucking counters.
And in every single corner outside in the garden where they stood and smoked.
and nobody used it because everybody had one small one they liked, and they carried it with them everywhere.
Exactly.
Mine had a beanbag bottom, so that it would fit down. It had a metal tray and 3 things to hold it. Yes, back when I was young 20s, I used to smoke, and that's what I did. And by the good Lord, I had a yellow computer because I smoked while gaming.
It just happens. Hey,
And
what's up, Adam?
for some reason back then, we all thought it was a great idea to go with fucking white walls or white wallpaper.
Well,
Oh,
okay.
off-white.
Oh yeah, off
As a
white.
house full of smokers, we always did off-white.
Yeah, you did off white, and then it turned fucking yellow.
Yep. It ended up looking like an
No, we
opium
already
den.
did it yellow, so just made it a little more yellow.
But to be
We
fair,
planned this shit out.
white walls is something that they do for a reason, not just because of it looks clean.
It's easier to clean.
It's to make sure you're
more acceptable by people.
Well, it's mostly to actually keep the rooms cool, so that they don't hold in heat, making them with darker walls. That's
Well,
the
as I
biggest
look
reason
around
why
at
they
my
do it.
As I look around at my dark gray walls that I painted in this room,
And you're
and it's hot as shit.
yeah.
Oh, hey, by the way, I added another monitor to this computer.
Did you? Johnny Mnemonic now has what? 6 monitors?
I've got a fourth one, right? No, 4 on this one, plus the TV there, plus the fucking 3 there that I'm getting to replace the center one with a another HP. I've got one right there that doesn't have any hookups or cords or anything that I use to watch TV or some shit while I'm sewing.
Mm-hmm.
And right there is another triple monitor mount.
Either of you play Xenosaga?
I've
No,
played
I've
it.
thought about it, but I just never did.
They had a sand sub.
I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know if that belongs in good, bad, or dumb. A sand sub.
The way they did it was awesome. And what's really funny is in one scene, literally, it had like limited flight capability, and they dropped it on a bad guy, and the bad guy caught it.
Okay, makes for awesome scenes, for sure.
Yeah, the concept is weird as heck, but at that time, a lot of SquareSoft games treated sand and water as the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it was easier for coding. All they had to do was change the color.
I mean, I guess that would make sense.
Oh no, I'm talking about concept, not game mechanics, because a lot of Square games had like sand ships and sand submarines and sinking castles that went below the dunes and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, so it was par for the course for the way the world was, so it makes sense for the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, they had you got a new version of it that was in the water, but it was a different vessel. Same model.
And Adam, for the Fajli Advice podcast, that's available on Spotify and on YouTube. As for actually, this is something that I wanted to make an announcement for, and you know what? Might as well make the announcement for it now. For the Bunch of Goofs livecast podcast, I've actually begun the process and been working on editing episodes so that I can post them for y'all to experience on YouTube and Spotify. And starting this week, I'll actually be posting them every Thursday for everybody to enjoy, both on Spotify and YouTube. The first episode will be going up this week. So if you do want to, get caught up and see how we started off as the Bunch of Goofs and all that.
Oh God.
Oh God.
I didn't do it.
Ow.
I didn't do it. I didn't do it.
What the fuck was that?
It wasn't me.
Bullshit.
Nothing.
You and your
He
echoing.
unmuted Twitch.
I didn't do anything.
No, don't worry about it, Adam. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate your question. Like, honestly, we're here to, one, talk about the subject, but also to interact with the chat and community here on Twitch. Although, we have been live for an hour, so I think this might be a good time to take a small be right back break so we can all take a piss and do what we need to do and then come back. And then,
I didn't do it.
talk about more video game vehicles. Because we just ended on a very interesting one, a sand sub.
Who wants to put sand in their sub sandwich?
Ew.
Yes.
Somebody who really doesn't like Anakin.
Or somebody who watches Little Rascals and instead of putting sand, they put kitty litter.
Ew. All right, everybody. We are going to be right back. Thank you so much for hanging out. But yeah, we'll be back in a moment. Well, hey there, everybody. Did you know that Asian Fasha Gamer has a Patreon?
That's right, everybody, and we're here to tell you about it together.
Subscribers have a chance to see content early, as well as request content on higher tiers.
That's right. You can ask Asian Fashion Gamer to read you a story, talk to you about lore or gameplay, or many other things.
But wait, there's more.
Subs that have been stayed around for 3 months or longer get special gifts. And if we reach our stretch goal of 10 subs or more, we will continue to add more to the Patreon, making it better for all of you.
So please consider, at the very least, checking out Asian Fasha Gamer's Patreon. Maybe subscribing and supporting him. And of course, we thank you for your time.
Hey everyone, I'm Caleb, or as you know me as Hey I'm Chef. I am a somewhat content creator. I've kind of taken a break on making the actual content and just doing stuff here with Alan or Asian Fasha Gamer. We have Monday, bunch of goofs, the livecast podcast that him, Oda, and myself do, and every other Friday we have the D&D podcast that we are putting together. So if you want to see this face on anything right now, it's with Alan stuff, or you can follow me on all my socials at hey_I'm_chef. Until then, I will see you guys later. Have fun with the content. Peace.
Greetings, everybody. My name is Odassi. My better half and I have a FlossTube channel, which is a podcast about needlepoint crafting, over on YouTube called The Slovak Farm. I also stream live on Twitch Saturdays and Sundays, and during the afternoon playing various games that fit my fancy.
Hey, everybody. Mr. Announcer and Random Skull are here to tell you about something amazing.
That's right. We have a merch store known as the AFG Brand Store, where you can purchase many different things.
Do you want a tin cup? Do you want a water bottle? Do you need a shirt? Do you need other things? Things that make you so that you support Asian Fasha Gamer? Well, check out the AFG Brand Store.
But wait, there's more.
That's right. We are going to be continuing to add to the merch store. On the monthly, we'll be adding in new designs, as well as, of course, introducing discounts for all of you.
So check out the AFGBrandStore.com. Now we're back. Thank you so much for everybody being here and hanging out. And, on our Be Right Back.
I thought of a game that literally has the good, the bad, and the ugly all in one game.
Oh?
Okay.
EVE Online.
Oh, fucking shit.
Never played it.
I can tell you right now, when it
Yeah.
comes to EVE, the amount of ships that you can choose and the amount of stupidity that you can do with those ships and the amount of stupid ships that they've released that are super expensive for no reason is abundant in EVE. EVE is the cesspool of the good, the bad, and the dumb vehicles. I'm telling you right now.
I mean, just talk about design, not even talking the mechanics. Some of them are like, literally, you took scrap iron, a couple of like, this is the aesthetic for an entire faction. Scrap metal, engines, and a lot of guns.
So, Reavers, got it.
Mm-hmm.
The Minotaur? Yeah, but their ships actually look cool. The
Not
only
gonna lie, the
problem
first time.
is that when somebody decided to give them capital ships, it's like it's a really good idea up to a certain size, and then it's just how do you make that out of random scrap? It still looks like it's made out of random scrap, but it's like, how do you mass produce something that looks like that? Oh, I'm not talking about the giant ones. I'm talking about the next size down. Yeah. Those are the ones where it's like it was just a little weird to me, that's all. I just think it would have been nice.
Space
I
trash.
know. I just think it would have been nice if you had a ship that literally was like randomized bits. Like every time you built one, the appearance was slightly different from every other one. That would have fit their theme so much better. But it's like, okay, it's made of space.
Hey,
Yeah.
you have no audio on stream, Ellen.
I fixed it. I think.
Yeah, so flying space garbage is cool and all, but they didn't go into it enough. And mass producing space garbage gets a little weird.
Yes, you fixed it, by the way.
Okay. I mean, it would make it. The only reason why it makes sense to me is just because the Galente, the Caldari, and the Amar are constantly fighting. They are never. They just keep throwing ships at each other. So I kind of imagine the space that's around that area, especially like in the nullsec areas, it's just covered in trash everywhere because there's just debris. And Galente, they might, go back and gather and repurpose, but the Amar are not going to do that. The Kaldari are not going to do that.
You want to know the only reason why the Galente would do that? They want their drones back.
Yeah, that's it. Those are valuable to them.
No, they're valuable, period. I remember how much money I spent on those things.
Oh yeah, no, and it doesn't matter what faction you chose. Drones are necessary for survival.
Oh no, I chose the Venture Navy issue.
Ah, you bought the really expensive drones. Okay. Cause
I beat people I had no business beating because I had so much in into my engines, and they literally were stupid and kept focusing on me, even though I kept blocking their target lock, and my drones were having a field day because I had the range extenders.
nice, fucking nice. That's the way to go. Now,
Yeah, I didn't kill them because they ran.
seeing as we are talking about vehicles and we are in space, let's bring in something that Chef can actually also think about and talk about. Back into the back into Halo and thinking about the Covenant mothership. That giant fucking thing.
The Ark of the Covenant?
Mm-hmm.
Are you talking about their city ship, or are you talking about their capital ship?
The one that was used as the forefront of the attack, not the one that like when they thought they won, but the one they first used to essentially breach Earth.
Well, the ring.
The ring. Yeah, sorry.
It didn't come to Earth until 3.
But that giant ass fucking thing
Yeah,
looked like
What
like
was the-
6 dildos
what
put
was the
together.
name of that?
I
mean, it's alien. Everything's got to be curved.
I actually liked the way that the frigates looked, and the fact that they actually paid a bit of attention to physics. Like, that's what I loved about the first 3 Halo games. they did their research. They actually got people who knew what was going on and asked them questions.
That, and it's just. I think we've talked about this, and I think I think we pretty much agree on the fact that John Spartan's story should have ended at 3.
Yeah. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It really should have.
I mean, they could have just done a clone of Cortana and a clone of John, and
Well,
had it come out in 4 that he was a clone as a plot twist.
In 4,
No, they
didn't
should
they
have just.
have another AI that was like Cortana but not Cortana?
That's because AIs
That
are.
was 5 or 6.
Oh,
No, that was 4.
that was 4.
It was 4 and 5.
Okay.
Okay, 'cause I thought he had Cortana in 4.
He does have Cortana. There are Covenant in charge of all of the UNSMC ships.
Oh.
Because if you remember right, Cortana was in charge of the Pillar of Autumn.
And the Covenant
the-
took over the Pillar of Autumn.
Then they destroyed. Well, they were trying to destroy the Pillar of Autumn, but Commander Keyes drove it into the fucking ring.
Mm.
And by the way,
Cortana
the name of
was wrecking their shit because Cortana's a great shot, apparently.
it's because Cortana is the only AI that is a direct clone of a actual human's mind.
It was Dr.
Halsey.
Halsey.
Yeah.
Pepsi
And by the
Juice.
way, the name of the Covenant ship that you board in Halo 1 and wreak havoc in is the Long Night of Solace.
The Long Night, huh? It's quite long.
The Long Night of Solace.
Mm.
Oh, so they were stroking that oversized dildo.
They were
'cause
stroking
by
it on their own.
Yep. It's one of a handful of CSO class super carriers.
Okay.
Well, by the way, I will say Halo 3 gave me one of my favorite lines.
Which
Mm.
one?
Master Chief, what are you doing?
Giving them
I'm
their
giving
bomb
the
back?
Covenant back their bomb.
That was just an awesome
Speaking
scene.
Approved.
That was an awesome scene, but the next scene that you see John in is so fucking stupid. He falls from fucking space and he's fine, just locked up.
He's alive.
Science the worst part is technically if you have a gel that can actually absorb the impact, and he should have been in medical care for a couple of minutes though.
He should have been in pieces.
Technically, they've had people falling at free fall without a parachute, and they got up.
Yes, but they weren't wearing several thousand pounds of armor.
And they weren't in the
Oh, that's
stratosphere, if I remember correctly.
No, they were above the stratosphere. They were in orbit.
Yeah, they were in space.
It all depends on whether or not the atmosphere actually slowed him. Oh my god, I keep actually saying slowed down to terminal velocity.
But I don't know. I wouldn't know the science behind it, but wouldn't just the forces alone of him coming down and breaching through the atmosphere be enough to tear him apart?
He should have been burned up, is what he should have done. Considering we have meteors.
Sci-fi super armor.
Sci-fi super armor with
stuff.
energy fucking shields. Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
But
it's like they literally somebody had a dumb idea and they did it, and nobody cared.
The power.
And at the time, nobody questioned it because it was cool.
The power of imagination.
The power of his balls are so big, even the ground doesn't hurt him.
It's like fucking John Spartan is fucking Chuck Norris of the USNMC.
He just has brass
He
balls
was.
tattooed
What
on
do you
both
mean,
of his
like?
fucking chests.
Well, we wouldn't
No.
know that unless you watch it.
John Spartan was the meme they told to keep the morale up.
Little do we know, John Spartan
fucking-
actually is Chuck Norris.
Well, we wouldn't
That
know
would've
that because
been
they
an
never
awesome
show his
face
fucking
reveal.
face.
And then
Tell-
once they did, it was like, what the hell?
They never
He's
showed his face.
generic.
Tell that to Paramount.
In 4 or 5 at the very end after the credits, they showed him taking his helmet off.
But they didn't show his face.
I thought they did.
Nope.
Like, all right.
You never see John's face. You see the back of his head, and that
That might be
was
what it was.
yeah. You
It might have
see,
been somebody messing with it and doing their own thing.
I mean, there is a actual rendering for John's face, like computer wise. They've just never shown it, unless you're fucking Paramount and you are making a horrible Halo series.
Yeah, I was about to say, like you heard me.
I'm
You heard me.
sorry. You know what? The Mandalorian did it. Why couldn't you? Keep the helmet on.
Even the Mandalorian did take Pedro's helmet off, but only in scenes where it made sense. Fucking John taking his helmet off in episode fucking 1 of the goddamn Halo series ruined it. Like I watched up until episode 3, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just fucking over this. And I'm
I'm
glad
not
that
gonna lie.
Mhm.
I thought the reason he didn't take that off is because it was a bitch. Like, I
It
thought
is.
he was RoboCop bolted into that
Mhm.
damn thing, and it would take 5 or 6 people to get him out of it.
It's
It takes
supposed
machines
to.
to get him out of it. That's why at the end of, I think it was the end of 4, when they remove his helmet. No, no, it was the end of 3 when they remove his helmet, because that was supposed to be the end of John Spartan.
Mm-hmm.
When they remove his helmet, you see all the machines taking his armor pieces off.
Yeah,
It was 4, by the way. In 3, he went to cryo sleep.
Oh,
That's right. That's
okay.
right.
But yeah, it's essentially the way that the super suit for the Spartan suit is supposed to work and is put it onto a Spartan is the same way that a suit is put onto a Space Marine in Star Trek or in StarCraft.
Well, Gen 1, Gen 1 through 2 Spartans, yes.
Yeah,
The Gen 3 Spartans, like the Reach crew and the new ones in 4 or 5 and Infinite, they're made to be taken out of it.
Okay, so they're much more easily
yeah,
removed.
they took their helmet. Yeah, like I honestly thought, like the way they should have done John is they should have showed his face like how they did Iron Man, where it was just his face inside the helmet lit up. How they did that, where he didn't show his face, but you can still show his face, but his helmet doesn't come off, or just give a transparent mode to his damn helmet.
No, I'm still 100% under the impression that they never should show his face, and that includes the fucking TV show that they fucking ruined.
Hmm.
Well,
But
I think there's other reasons why they ruined that.
oh, that is because it's the same reason they took off Pedro's helmet in the fucking Mandalorian. The actual the actual actor needs to get some sort of screen time so people realize it's him.
Yeah.
Well, they actually did say that they're basically never showing Mando's face again in
Yeah.
and out of story. They
Well,
said
that's
they're never showing his face again.
You know the practicality for that, right?
Why?
Yeah, he's never going to be on set again.
Yeah, because he's in the last season of The Mandalorian, Pedro was only on scene for on set for anything that had his helmet off, because he was so busy shooting The Last of Us.
Mm.
And speaking of which, season 2 of The Last of Us is getting ready to come out, I think, like next month or something.
Sweet.
But so Pedro's just super busy. The majority of the shot, or almost 98% of the shots in the last season of The Mandalorian, was his body double, and then Pedro just voiced it over.
Mm. Okay.
Which, I mean, makes sense because you don't see his face.
Yeah.
Yeah, they basically did it. They gave him the Power Rangers treatment.
Basically.
Now, in regards to this isn't technically the subject of the stream, but seeing as we're talking about unmaskings of iconic characters, have you guys watched the newest seasons?
Robo.
Yeah, you're lagging pretty bad. Say something.
Please move your mouth. That's weird. Your eyes are moving.
Yeah, we can see your eyes moving.
Okay. Can you hear me now? Is that better? Is this good? Are we back?
Yes.
Okay. So,
Yes.
in regards to unmaskings, have you guys watched, or I know you're not, Chef, essentially, but when it comes to Star Trek, have you guys watched the newest seasons or seen anything about the newest seasons?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I think you know exactly where I'm going with this. So, they just recently unveiled and showed off the face of a species that we've never seen the face of before.
I heard about that. I clicked off. I
Because
swiped before they showed it.
now, how do you feel about that?
Why? Why was that necessary?
Okay.
Some things are best left to mystery. The Breen. I'm assuming you're talking about the Breen.
Exactly who we're talking about.
I don't want to know what the Breen look like because their helmet is awesome. You need some faceless enemies. That's why the audience doesn't feel bad when you vaporize their ass.
Shit.
Cybermen.
Cybermen. Well, we know what the Cybermen are, though. Like, they don't need to be unmasked for us to know what they are.
If you unmask them, it's a brain.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
It's a brain. The brain in a robo jar.
Well, I get
So bending the rules of shit a little bit. Do the Dalek suits technically count as vehicles?
no. Okay, so those
No.
count as mech suits almost, and we're gonna save that for
Okay.
another episode.
But they're starships. I love the fact they're flying saucers.
They're they're
I know, right?
stereotypical flying saucers. The shit
I
that we
fucking
see in
love it.
Mars Attacks, you know?
Could you imagine if they made a Doctor Who fucking video game?
Oh, you want to talk about some really stupid movie ones? Movies, I can find some really stupid stuff for.
Oh.
Oh, I mean, there's the list goes on and on.
Oh God, The Day the Earth Stood. No, not that one. The one where the Martians were taken out by basically the common cold. Because
War of
spaceships
Worlds.
are not hermetically sealed.
Yeah,
Yeah, War of Worlds. Because a spaceship is not hermetically sealed.
Yeah, I know, right?
No, that didn't make
And
any
they have
sense
no idea what a
whatsoever.
germ is. Also,
Now-
the
now
design
we're
of
talking
those
about the
ships with
Tom
those
Cruise one, right?
legs,
Yeah.
those legs make no sense.
You want to know
But they're
where
scary.
they got that idea from, though?
Jellyfish?
No. Well, yes, original. Okay, so the concept came from jellyfish, but the idea of the tripod originated from a book done by H.G. Wells, known as The White Mountains. That's where the concept of War of Worlds took that from originally. Because originally, in the radio show of the War of Worlds, the tripods didn't exist.
Nope.
I think flying saucers would have made more sense. Still, the whole fact they were taken out by the common cold.
Stupid.
They were
Fucking
in space
stupid.
soups. Space.
I mean, if we're gonna
When
go with
Mars
that,
Attacks at least was funny.
I mean, if we're gonna go with stupid shit that kills aliens, I mean, fucking water and signs.
Oh,
Oh God, I think I brought that up before. Why would you show up to a planet where water falls from the sky and most of the air contains a good amount of water, so your skin should have been burning because there's so much water in the air, and you're walking around naked? I am weak to water. I am the Wicked Witch of the West, and I'm going to a planet with 70% water where it falls from the sky on the regular, and I'm going around in my birthday suit.
You're telling me that a spacefaring race can't do a simple environmental scan? They can go into space, but they can't check for water? The thing that kills them?
What do you mean check? If you
You
show
can
up
see
to
it.
Earth,
You can see it.
by the time you get to Mars, you can tell there's water on Earth.
You would think they
So,
would
I
think
know we're
better.
I know we're talking video game stuff. We're supposed to be talking video game stuff, but a movie that I think that did aliens and their vehicles correctly, fucking Independence Day.
Yes.
Yes. You know,
Fucking Independence Day, like even the little fighters having the fucking shields, the way they looked, the way they fought, the way they sounded, the fucking aliens having the exoskeletons to fucking or the exosuits to protect themselves, the actual fucking city destroying ships being saucers, which was fucking great. And then
That came
the
out of a
mothership.
saucer.
Yep.
The mothership looked more like a brain, if I remember right.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's hard to remember.
The one that was
it was
in
a half
space.
dome kind of.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I like how it birthed this. Like it
Yeah.
popped these ships out. They looked small, and then they covered New York City, and you're like,
Oh
Yeah,
shit!
those are the
Some other
city destroying ships I'm talking about. The fact that
I
they're
know you
fucking
are.
round, they're round and they're saucers is just fucking great.
oh, and the fact that they just popped out the bottom of that thing like they were zits.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I just love most iconic line of that fucking movie is I could have been at a barbecue. And what the fuck is that smell?
You know that second one was improvised.
Yep.
Yes, because in that scene, it was a particularly dry day, and all Will Smith could smell was the dead brine shrimp, all that's mixed in with the fucking sand or the slate.
Mhm.
So he literally was screaming, "What the fuck was that smell?" Because it was hot, and it was like his 14th take doing that one.
And he was just fucking done with that day. I will say now, seeing as we're talking about Independence Day, and I did also recently watch another one of Emmerich's movies just last night, Godzilla. You know what I
Which
love?
one?
Godzilla.
There's been like 7 Godzillas.
No, the one
70.
that was directed by Emmerich, the same dude who did Independence Day.
Sir, I am horrible at fucking directors.
I
I know
think he's
Steven
talking about
Spielberg.
Zilla.
I'm talking about Zilla, the one with Matthew Broderick.
Matthew Broderick. Okay, there we
Yeah.
go.
So
The worm guy won.
you want to know what's really funny about that movie and Independence Day? There's actually a correlation. So in the Godzilla movie, you know the mayor and his toady?
Yeah.
You know who that's supposed to be, right?
No.
That's Roger and Ebert. Sorry, that's Roger Ebert and Gene.
Okay.
You know the two movie critics?
Yeah.
He put them in that he put a role that parodied them in that movie as the incompetent politicians to make fun of them
hmm
because they reviewed Independence Day twice and called it a bad movie.
And yet everybody fucking loves
And
it.
yet everybody fucking loves it.
Uh-huh.
So as a
The second one, not so
One-
much.
Independence Day, one of the best speeches ever.
right?
And
Oh,
they
yeah.
had cameos during the speech.
Bill Poland, right?
I know she
I
was
think
the
that's
guy
his name.
from I don't know, there was a couple of cameos in that speech.
I'm talking about the guy who plays the. Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love him. I'm sorry, but he will always be the dad in Casper.
Yes.
Those are his uncles.
I'm gonna say cool and stupid are not mutually exclusive. Something can be stupid and cool. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
chef?
Yes.
The Executor class Star Destroyer is stupidly big. They literally took an entire planet's worth of resources in order to build a ship that doesn't do much more than what the other ones did.
Yeah. Um. hmm.
Faja has no sound on screen?
I just fixed that.
Again?
I fixed that. I have to change my key because every time I press S, it mutes my mic.
Okay, now there's a delay, but she's like, you're there now.
Okay. But so I do have a vehicle that is both stupid and cool because it looked cool on screen. But when you think about driving it, it's fucking stupid. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Nemo's car.
Are you talking about? I was gonna say, are you talking about Nemo's car?
I'm talking
Dude, I would
about
fucking love to drive that thing.
that thing looks
I
so
would not want to
badass.
drive it where they were driving it.
Yeah, not through the streets of Venice.
But that vehicle
Also, it's made out of like freaking adamantine or something.
or
You're lagging a bit again, Ellen.
oh shit. Am I Am I good?
No, you're kung fu-y right now.
Okay, wait.
That's why we keep talking over you.
Yeah. 1 second. No. See, I've been so what I've been doing with the Discord, this particular with this channel and the D&D channel, I've been messing with the bit rating to see if I can
Mhm.
stabilize it a little bit more. So this is definitely not a good setting.
No.
Uh I'll have to
But that
go lower.
I will say the sub was awesome. The
Oh,
car
yeah.
was weird.
The car was awesome. I fucking loved the car. But yeah, having the 4 wheels in the front and the 2 in the back, that's gonna potentially make steering a bit hard.
Well, considering he went through the buildings instead of around them.
Well, yeah, that's you said you wouldn't drive it where they were. I'm like, what, the streets of Venice or the buildings of Venice?
Tight alleys. Like, that is a country road vehicle.
Oh yeah.
You're a country road vehicle. All right, I think I might have fixed it
There's
with this
also
one.
the fact that it's like,
Country
there's also the fact that
road.
thing actually managed to be longer than a Lincoln.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing was as long as a goddamn limousine, but had less seats than a fucking sedan.
It also had like a V fucking 18 engine.
It still looked cool.
Yeah, oh, it was beautiful, but oh my god.
You know what? So getting back to video games a little bit, it's movie and video games
Okay.
because it's been in tons of video games. One car that I would love to own in any video game and in real life, but because of the popularity of the fucking movie, this fucking car is impossible to find, and that's fucking Echo One.
Okay. That's a good choice. That's a very nice
Fucking
choice.
Echo One has been in so many fucking video game crossovers. Fucking anything that has to do with Ghostbusters.
Yep.
Insert Batmobile here.
Okay, so favorite Batmobile from a video game.
It's gonna have to be the original animated Batman Batmobile.
Oh yeah.
I love that design. It looks
mean-
so sleek.
While I love that design, the flipping tank,
The Tumbler.
like from the Arkham Knights one.
The Tumbler.
Oh, okay. I know
Yeah,
which
the
one you're talking
Tumbler.
about. I've seen that one in screenshots.
That one literally looks like something a rich billionaire with no give a shit would drive.
Yeah, it was modeled off of the Christian Bale ones, or vice versa. I can't remember, but it's called the Tumbler. That thing is fucking insane. But
Wasn't
when I
it?
saw it in the movies, I did not. When I saw it in the movies, I did not. That didn't scream Batmobile to me.
Wasn't that vehicle actually based off of a military design that was never built because it was unfeasibly fucking expensive?
Yes.
Perfect for Batman.
Perfect for Batman.
Yeah. I mean, that's the story of it in the movie as well, and but at the same time, like it was based off an actual military project that didn't go through.
Yeah. The thing is, it's one of those things where it fit. It wasn't the Batmobile we love,
No.
but it fit because the Batmobile is always this weird ass thing. Do you remember Batman Returns, where the sides just popped off and it became the world's longest and weirdest motorcycle type thing?
Yeah. Did you realize how long it took them to because that's an actual working motorcycle.
Wait,
and
what?
There's a motor in each. Yeah, there's a motor in each wheel. It took them weeks and 6 or 10 different stuntmen to learn how to drive it, because each handle that you use powers one wheel, so the front and the back.
Are you talking about the Tumbler or the other one?
No, the Tumbler motorcycle.
Oh, okay. No, I was talking about Batman Returns, where he's going through the alley and he pops the two sides off the Batmobile and the center goes right through.
Yeah, and it's the motorcycle.
No, different
Wait,
movie
which Batman Returns?
with Michael Keaton, the Penguin.
Yeah. I remember that. I
Okay.
used to have
I
that
think it
toy.
was Batman Returns. I might have the name
No,
wrong.
No,
that's
I
not
think that's the
Batman
re-
Returns. That's fuck me.
Michael
Which
Keaton
Batman was it?
Batman.
Because Batman Returns. Yeah.
It was the second movie. The one with Penguin and Catwoman.
That might have been Returns. No,
It's just Batman.
So
It's just called
yeah,
Batman.
just Batman.
No, there's a second one.
There's a second
Yeah,
one.
because that's the one with Jack Nicholson as the Joker.
No, I'm thinking about it is Batman Returns.
Yeah. I used to have
It's
that
the one
toy.
with Catwoman with Michael Keaton, and then there's Catwoman and the
Oh,
and,
that is Batman Returns. You are
Danny
right.
DeVito.
Yeah, the one that came out in 1992.
Yeah, I was going way back, but I love that one. That Batmobile was so awesome from the first and second movies.
I will say,
a super because didn't that Batmobile have 3 fins in the back?
yes.
Not 2. I did not like that one, like because I mean, granted, I was going from the '90s animated Batman, so loving that fucking series, like end all be all. It's my favorite Batman ever.
It had no fins.
Which one's the one that had 3 fins?
That was 3. That was the third one.
That was the one with George Clooney, right?
No, that was one with Val Kilmer.
Oh yeah. I hated that fucking Batmobile. I really did.
Yeah, no. This had the fins over the back tires.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
This
It
is the
looked
one
like-
that had the turbine in the middle.
Yeah, and then those sides popped off and just the turbine went through the alley. Or it like collapsed in. I can't remember what it was. All I know is it shrunk down, the 2 cars chasing and crashed into the
They
street.
actually had a fucking toy of it, and the official name of the conversion is
I
the
had it.
Bat
Yeah.
Missile.
Yeah,
Would you like to know why I remember this so well?
Hmm.
I had the Bat Missile toy.
So did I. I fucking loved that thing. I
That was
hated.
so much fun.
I wasn't I wasn't a huge fan of that one particularly because I love anything Batman is the '90s animated for me.
Same.
That is top tier.
No, I'm not. I'm like one. I want to bring it up. I'm not. That one's still awesome.
Oh yeah, I still
It's
go back
about
and
as
watch it every once in a
practical
while.
as a kick to the balls.
Oh yeah,
Because it's literally, you can literally play a game of Batman on the freaking hood of that thing and have 3 games going at once because it's so big.
yeah.
I mean, when
it's
you
the
really
same
think
problem as
about
Nemo's
it,
car, but yeah.
and when you really think about it, no superhero had a practical fucking vehicle. Wonder Woman had an invisible jet.
That had to have sucked. I think I parked here. You did? Oh, it's on that rooftop. Fuck.
Oh no! All right, bird strike is enough of a problem when the birds can see the plane.
Right? Now they can't. Oh shit, Wonder Woman, we're going down.
Also, Wonder Woman, I really hope you didn't install an onboard toilet because that would be all kinds of scenes.
Family Guy did that.
The thing, Family Guy did do that.
I didn't even know how to watch Family Guy.
Yeah, because Superman flies up next to her and she's just sitting in the sitting position, and he starts talking to her, and then she stands up, pulls up her pants, and fucking flushes the toilet, and then walks up to the cockpit, and then Superman slowly comes up and he goes, "So, noticed you didn't wash your hands in the invisible sink."
First off, don't talk to me while I'm on the toilet, Superman.
Well, he didn't realize it. That's the thing.
I'm gonna bring up a TV show, spaceship I loved.
Firefly.
No, love that one too. But the Star Fury from Babylon 5.
I never really watched Babylon 5.
The design that was so grounded in real life science that NASA actually asked for permission to investigate the design for an actual working spacecraft because it was theoretically possible.
Oh, I know. I remember it. I just never watched it.
It looked like, if you look it up, it is a very, very sleek looking ship.
And everybody's like, that's such a weird design until you see it turn around and there's no G-forces because the person's at the center of rotation.
Yeah.
I mean,
which means you could have so many more G-forces if you just spin on yourself. That's the level of detail I miss in so much anymore.
Can you guys think of any other video game? Well, how about this? Favorite video game level in or mission or section of a video game that involves vehicle.
I will. Okay, honestly, as weird as this might sound, this was the only part of the 2010 Avatar game release that was worth mentioning. Was when you actually got your Banshee. Now, it's technically not a vehicle, but it is a vehicle, but it's a living animal. But that part of the game was the
Vehicle
only
mechanics.
yeah, that is the only part of the game that was worth even playing.
I have one I like, but it's kind of a vehicle, kind of an amusement park ride. The roller coaster from Final Fantasy VII,
Oh,
where you shoot the shooting game, but it's the roller coaster, so you have all the visuals of a roller coaster.
yeah, it's kind
but
of
it's
like
also shoot things with an energy bar.
when you go to Disneyland and you play Buzz
Buzz
Blaster.
Lightyear's
Yeah,
fucking
Yeah, Buzz Light. They stole that from because 7 was first.
but I love that. I
But
love
it's
that.
just such a cool idea. The gold saucer,
Yes.
chef's kiss, everything in that. It even
My-
let you play the old mini games from earlier as some of the games as well.
They were so much fun.
my favorite video game level has been redone in 3 different games in the series. And that is the end of Halo 1, the driving through the level on the Warthog while everything is exploding.
Mm.
They used that in like 3 different fucking Halo games. It was awesome.
But it's
Actually, you reminded me of one of my favorite levels of Halo, where you're flying the flying one's the Wraith or no the Banshee.
Banshee.
The Banshee with the green torpedo launcher.
That's all Banshees, but yeah.
Yeah, but with the first game where they added the missile launcher instead of just the blasters, and you're actually playing as the Avatar,
the
Arbiter.
Arbiter, where you're playing the Arbiter and you're doing that fighter sequence where he's flying around in that thing, blowing things up. That was so. I got to the end of it and I actually reloaded a previous save so I could do it again.
Oh yeah, I love that level. I mean, granted I've played Halo campaigns so much that I can do all of them. I was even that guy that would in Halo 1 when you first land on the ring and the Banshee starts shooting at you, you can actually coax it to a specific point and then hijack it and do the level in the fucking Banshee until you can't fit it through.
You know what
do you remember the
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna bring up because we were talking about Halo and the Arbiter. You know how long it took for me to realize that was fucking Keith David? Like I almost beat
Who you're lagging again.
Oh, sorry.
And now you're frozen.
Ah! Hello? Hello? Hello?
Greetings.
Okay. We're good? No, we're not.
Ish.
A little kung fu-y, but that's about it.
All right. Okay, so yeah, it took me until almost beating the game till I finally realized that the Arbiter was fucking Keith David.
Oh yeah.
I never cared.
I mean, he's an amazing.
I'm so bad with names, I don't bother.
I don't know. He's
like,
on an iconic
recognize,
voice. So.
I watch. I know. No, it's one of those where I'm like, I know. I recognize, but I didn't realize at the time. Do you remember? I remember I was playing in one of the tank levels. I think it was 3, and you were being harassed by the Banshees.
Yeah.
And I started shooting them down with the cannon. And my friend's like, "You are not taking out fighters with a tank cannon." All right, boom, got another one. He's like, "The fact that you're hitting those so well is terrifying me."
It's so much fun.
Because we were playing split screen, and he was just riding on the he was just riding on the tank with me. And he's like, dude, you keep shooting these things down with the tank. Oh my god. Part of the reason why I was banned from it.
I miss couch co-op in those days. I really do.
Couch co-op was awesome.
It was.
Yeah. It gave you a great excuse when you sucked. You're screen watching.
Stop screen watching.
Stop looking at my screen, man. I still remember one of the things that we tried to do when we actually got a decent sized TV when we did couch co-op was we would get some tape and a cardboard box and we would make a divider.
Oh, we used to use a sheet. We used to use a
God.
sheet.
A sheet?
I thought of it. I cannot remember the name of the video game, but it was for the Sega Saturn, and it was basically jet skis.
Jet Moto 3?
Maybe. You were racing jet skis, you jumped off of ramps. It was all kinds of craziness.
Oh, shit. That was on PlayStation as well, and they actually had it in a lot of arcades.
Oh, fuck, what is it called? Like, it's like the jet ski game.
Yeah.
Wave Race.
Yes.
Fucking
Yup,
Wave
that's it,
Race.
yup. That was so much fun, and it was like, it was like, how am I having this much fun with this game? What? How?
It's kind of like when you first
Either
played
of
the
you
first
played-
Tony Hawk.
By the way, you typed S while you were typing that. Make sure your audio's still on.
It is. It is.
Push the talk, Alan. Push
Either
the
of you
talk.
guys ever play Perfect Dark?
Oh, hell yes.
Do you remember the hover cycle where you could still dual wield the alien blaster pistols?
Yes. I mean,
It's like, I don't know how I'm driving this thing with my thighs when my thighs that character's thighs shouldn't have fit on that thing.
no, not Joanna Dark.
And you're driving it with your thighs, dual wielding blasters, and I didn't care because I was killing everything.
While watching the big mommy move
Yep.
on round. That skin tight bodysuit.
Perfect Dark Zero. It was even more pronounced in Perfect Dark Zero.
Oh, yeah.
Briefcase gun.
The briefcase gun is so awesome.
Yeah, it's also a mounted turret.
You know what the briefcase gun reminded me of, though? Of, fuck, what was that one movie? Antonio Banderas,
Mariachi?
Desperado?
Desperado.
Once Upon a Time in Mexico?
Once Upon a Time in Mexico, that's what it was. It's the one where his fucking guitar case was a gun.
Yeah.
That was
actually bought two different movies.
Yeah, that was Desperado and Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
Which one was the first one?
He had Desperado.
Yeah.
He had the guns in the case. His one friend had a rocket launcher case, and his other friend had a machine gun case.
Yes, that's the scene that I remember.
Weren't they part of the same series?
I think Desperado
same
and Once Upon a
scene.
Time in Mexico.
No. I mean,
I think they are part of
Yeah,
the same
that's what I'm saying.
series.
Yeah, they are. I think they both have Antonio Banderas in it.
Yes,
they do. He plays the same character. It's the mariachi band.
I'm going to play music and then shoot you all in the face.
I think Johnny.
And the best part about those movies is you never knew. Johnny Depp was in Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
He is. I was just about to say.
He was the CIA agent or NSA agent or FBI agent or whatever who ends up getting his eyes cut out.
Mm-hmm. Holy crap! I forgot William Dafoe was in this too.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, if we're talking about movies that people forgot that people were in, fucking, I had one last night that fucking blew Alan's mind.
Holy shit! I had no idea he was Dustfinger. I had no idea. The fucking little
Paul Bettany playing Dustfinger in Inkheart.
Never seen, never heard of it.
Inkheart is a movie with Brendan Fraser where he can read books out loud and it summons those characters out of the book into real life.
It was a really
And
good movie.
It was an amazing movie. I attribute a lot of my love for books to that movie because there's a lot of one-liners, especially the part with Helen Hunt talking about her books in her library. How you can go and how she's been to Persia, she's been to Treasure Island, she's been here, she's been there, and she's done 1,000 more, but she's never left this one house. It's a great movie. It's on, if you have HBO Max, Oda, it's on HBO Max because that's what
it came out while I was in a movie dead zone.
Oh.
Yeah, it came out fucking forever ago.
2008. I just looked it up.
Yeah.
So during that time, you
So,
just
I
didn't
can
do
watch
movies?
It just if I ever get around to it. Yeah, I had this little thing called No Money.
No money. Makes it a lot harder.
Hey, I'm still in that little era called No Money.
It was also a year after I got married.
Oh, you got married the year before I graduated.
Yeah.
Oh, look at you guys being old.
And being adorable at the same
Dude,
time.
I will. Okay, you know what? Fine. I'm gonna make you feel like a child. My wife and I met in the summer of 2001.
I was 11.
Isn't there a song about that?
Wait, when did Ocean Avenue come out?
Nice. Alrighty then, everybody. I hate to say it, but we have reached that time where we've got to be ending today's stream.
Me and Faja are done babysitting Chef.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's time for Chef to go home to his parents. We're done babysitting for the day.
Time for
My
his
parents don't wanna
diaper
watch me either.
change. Anyways.
No, your girlfriend's the one that has to watch you now.
Oh god.
Oh, she can watch me.
Not the right site for that. Either way. Alrighty then,
No,
everybody.
That's over on AsianDaddyGamer.com.
Fucking hell. Y'all here on TikTok, I will see you later. Thank you so much for those gifts, the vote, everything. Y'all are amazing. I'll see you tomorrow for our next stream. Y'all here on on Twitch, stay right where you are because we're going to send a raid off to somebody. Everybody, that's the end of today's episode of Bunch of Goofs. I hope you enjoyed, and of course, let's say thank you to our cast. Asian Fasha Gamer, Audacia, and Hey, I'm Chef. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.